Oh, yes. I think we're here. Can you hear me out there, guys? Oh, what a nightmare. What a nightmare. If someone can just let me know you can hear me. Yes, you can. Well done. I think we're here, aren't we? Oh, 2023, eh? Sounds good. That's good. Right. I really have no idea why it wouldn't start up there. Crazy. It's just going whirly, saying going live, and it wasn't going live. I ran a speed test, and yeah, it's not phenomenal here, but it was over 20 gigabyte download and over 30 gigabyte upload. So you need about 4 or 5 to get a live stream that doesn't normally go diddly do. You know what I mean? Anyway, what are we doing tonight? Oh, yes. I've been on my boat 5 years, guys. 5 years today. About 4 p.m. it was when I moved off after handing over some of those funny things, that the bank gives you, those promissory notes, which are worthless, really. But there we go. Oh, thank you very much. That's Boating with Victoria. So, Sammy Klaus, this is what we're drinking tonight, guys, while we're doing this live stream. Always take it the wrong way. Yeah. So, what is it? Well, besides being a beer, of course. It's called Sammy Klaus Baroque Limited Edition. It's a 330 milliliter bottle, and it's 14% alcohol by volume. And because I've restarted my computer, I've lost all my notes I had. Right. I can't read it with my glasses on. What I do know, what I can remember, is this beer is brewed once a year. I think it's around about the 6th of December. I could be wrong on the date there, don't quote me. Just one day a year, and they age it in Chardonnay barrels, I believe, and then bottle it. Obviously, it's the following year when they bottle it. And it's reckoned to be one of the rarest beers in the world. So, we're going to enjoy this YM anyway, I hope. Steady on. Yeah, I haven't had a good day today, actually. There's a few things gone wrong today. One thing that's gone wrong today is a little bit expensive, but we'll talk about that later, perhaps. Right, let's pour it, shall we, and see what we got. Got a little glass. I opened it a little while ago because I like to let beer breathe a little bit. I'm not a big fan of CO2 in my beer, so it lets a little bit of it escape. Like most strong beers, they don't hold a head. Like the colour. Excuse me. Wow. You can smell the malts. I don't know what malts they've used. It doesn't particularly smell alcoholic, which is quite rare for these strong beers. But I have had it on the boat now for over a year, so the 2022 bottle. Let's try that again. Well, you know it's a strong beer as soon as you sip it. It's got a hell of a lot of malts in it. So that real deep, malty, sort of creamy sort of malt flavour to it. Let's try and get some more out of it. Yeah, for a very strong beer, which it is, it doesn't really taste particularly alcoholic. Some strong beers just all you taste is alcohol. This you taste the malts, you really do taste the malts. It's not particularly that hoppy. But there's a good sense of some really good malts in there. Yeah, rather good. Anyway, let's put that to one side for a moment and see what you guys are up to here. Oh, it's bottled on December the 6th. So I've got the date in there right somewhere for it. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, 5 years is a milestone. Yeah, I don't know if anyone's got any questions, sort of a question about boating or whatever you want to have questions about. But this is really good. It's not a beer review video particularly, but I don't know if you know, for the last 4 years, I've had Bourbon County every year on my anniversary. I ran out of those, and Mark, the Schwartz, or the Scorts, the Scolts, I always pronounce it wrong. I'm terrible. Sent me some beers this Christmas and last Christmas, and this is from last Christmas's selection. There's another one of these, and this year's Christmas selection. That's very, very drinkable. This one would get you into trouble because it doesn't particularly taste strong. So you'd be necking it down and suddenly go, that is good. Well, today I had a bit of a disaster. Lovely day here. Well, most of the day we had a couple of heavy showers when I went shopping. Went and did some shopping, walked down to Sainsbury's, which is a little way away, not that far, about half a mile or so. It's all uphill coming back. So carrying the shopping back. Anyway, I got back on the boat, put my shopping away. And as I come across, there's a bridge just here, and as I come across the bridge, I can see straight up the locks right by where I'm moored. And I thought, oh, that's absolutely beautiful. The sun was coming straight up and straight shine on them. And these locks, next door to the lock, have the bywash comes over, and it looks like a waterfall. It's quite wide. It's probably about, 12, 15 foot wide, slightly sloped, and the water was coming down every single one all the way down. And you could see the light shine on them. And I thought, oh, that looks beautiful. I'll get the drone out. So I got the drone out, checking it was recording properly, and all that it was. Put it up in the air. I put a brand new fully charged battery into the drone, by the way. Always say I had a flat battery, which I tested before I put it in, or when I put it in. It came up with the 4 lights saying it was fully charged. And I'd only charged them up a couple of days ago, so, they were pretty good. And I'm flying it up over, and I've only been up about, a minute and a half, 2 minutes. And I go to turn it slightly, and I'm watching it on the phone, what it's doing, where I am. I just turn it slightly so I get the light reflection nicely, and suddenly a bird flew into the drone. And it went crashing to the floor. And I could see it on the phone going down out of the air. And I think the bird snapped off one of the rotor blades, and it went down in the trees on the opposite side of the canal, and I can't get to them. There's no way there. And it looks like it stuck well up a tree anyway, because I could still see the picture, and it wouldn't fly out or anything. It said angle of elevation exceeded or something like that. So I now own Sim a drone, because it wasn't my drone. I borrowed it off a Simian. So I got to go and find a new drone. Well, buy a new drone for him. Yes, a disastrous day. And I thought I'd got some great shots as well. Well, the SD cards, of course, in the drone, and I don't have it. Yeah, not a good day. Anyways, I don't know if Sim's in the live chat. I'm not sure if he's home yet. He might be just about home by now. He's been out on his bikes today, doing some off roading on his bike, doing some competition. I don't quite understand it all. Yeah, so Sim, if you watch this, I'll call you in the morning anyway. I'll call you tomorrow and let you know. I'll obviously get you a new drone, but yeah, not good. So, anyways, anyone got any questions? Because this was sort of a question-y sort of video. So far away if you do, while I console. Oh, the upgrade to the windows. That was a huge difference. Absolutely huge difference. Although at the moment it's going to be quite cold again tonight. The last few nights have been very mild, so hardly needed the fire going. Yeah, it never got. We had a few real cold nights this year. Not cold compared to living in Illinois, but cold compared to living in the UK. And it's probably been 5 degrees warmer overnight in the boat than similar cold temperatures the year before. So the 200 odd quid I spent on doing my sort of secondary double glazing in here, well worth spending. It means I don't have to stack the coal up the chimney either on the fire to keep it so warm in here. Yeah, funny enough, Spaghetti Junction. If you turn left and go up, carry on the Birmingham Fazeley Canal, you go into Aston Locks and then Farmers Locks. It's horrible. There's nowhere really to moor there anyway. The only place to moor up there, if you ever do that, if you go that way, is more on the non-towpath side by the Uber building. That's quite safe moorings there. I came under Spaghetti Junction and literally I'm 400 or 500 yards away from Spaghetti Junction when I moor up. And you can see the cars in the distance going over, on some of the flyovers. You can't hear them. I guess the sound goes upwards. It was really, really quiet. I saw a couple of dog walkers walk by the boat after I moored up, and that was it. It was sounds a pound more there. I don't think. Well, there's not really any houses right nearby, so that probably helps. But yeah, no problem mooring there at all. And I've moored right at the bottom of Perry Bar Locks. I actually used the mooring for the lock landing. I actually put my boat right at the back of it, and I put my front rope onto the last mooring bollard, and I put a pin in the back. I don't like using pins, especially when it has been so wet and the ground's so soft. You know, one hit with a hammer and they're straight in. But yeah, but a bit of security using the front bollard. And I was pretty sure not many boats were going to come along. Of course, no boats come along anyway. And yeah, and Steve turned up at noon the next day, or just a little early, and helped me up the locks with Yvonne. Absolutely fantastic, Steve and Yvonne. Big thumbs up to you guys. Yeah, it's quite odd, isn't it? You know, I've been up under Spaghetti Junction a few times and gone up, as I say, up towards Gas Street Basin, up Aston Locks and Farmers Locks. I don't like going up that way, and I always said I'd never do it again. I never. But this trip, done, and I've done Perry Bar Locks. I can't fit the next set of locks I did. Anyway, Perry Bar Locks, which takes you on, which is on the Tame Valley Canal, to the Warsaw Canal. Now you can't turn right there at the moment once you get to the junction, because that's where they've had that chemical spill and the canal's still closed. So you have to turn left, and there's a flight of 8 locks not far. You come to Ryan's Locks. That's not right. Something like that. Anyway, there's 8 locks there. Did those, and I did those, and it was rain, sleet, snow. But once I started them, and I didn't fancy the area, I wanted to get through them. So I carried on in most awful weather. I did video a little bit, but I didn't video much because I just wanted to get on and do the locks. As you probably all know, when you're videoing you're single-handed, it all takes time, and I didn't want to put too much extra time to it. So anyway, up through those locks, then you go on to the Old Wednesbury Canal, I believe it's called, as soon as you get to the top of the locks. And then that's not very long. You're not on it for very long until you get onto the new main line. I took the new main line. You'll see videos of this, I will be showing it all. Up to, well, I'm more just up there from there, a little ways up. Once I could find somewhere I could get into the bank and more up. I had to put pins in there, but the time was getting on in the evening. I just had to stop. I moved there. Actually, I stayed there for 2 days because I absolutely chucked it down the next day, and no boats went past me, so there was no chance of the pins being pulled out. Then from there, when it dried up a bit, I carried on up to the Neverton Tunnel link. So I went down through Neverton Tunnel, down to the Dudley Canal, Bumble Hole, and then I've carried on down the Dudley Canal to where I am right now, which is, I can't remember. Oh yeah, Alan. Well, I'm at where am I at? What are the locks I just done? Gee whiz. I'm near Briar Hill. Briar Hill, something like that. That's not right. Anyway, gee whiz, locks here. Delph Locks. I've just done Delph Locks, and I'm moored at the bottom of Delph Locks at the moment. So forward from here, carrying on, I'm carrying on down the Dudley Canal, and the Dudley Canal ends, and it becomes the Stour Bridge. Yeah, the Stour Bridge Extension Canal. So it's the Stour Bridge Extension Canal down towards Stour Bridge. But before I get to Stour Bridge, I'm going to take a right turn to take me onto the Stratford and Stratford and what's it called? Stratford and Gloucester Canal. No, that's not right, is it? Oh, I can't think straight tonight. I had a couple of pints in the beer in the pub before drinking this. This is just toppling me over. Staffordshire and Worcester Canal. So a drink. And then I got the lovely Bratch locks to do, whether it is 29, 30 of them. Oh, 20 locks to do when I go onto the Stourport Extension Canal as well. So then up there, and my original plan was, because I got to get to Simeon's place at Wheelock. He's looking at my gearbox for me. My original plan was, because I didn't realise I'd be running so slow because the weather's been absolutely diabolical, was to go down the Shroppie, across the Middlewich and back up the T&M to Wheelock where Sim lives. Well, now, because I'm so far behind, I don't think I need to do all that. I'm going to carry on now on the Staffs and Worth all the way back to the T&M at Great Haywood and go straight up there because I think that's going to be quicker. I also then get to stop at Kids Grove and have a couple of pints in the Bluebell. As you probably all know, one of my favourite pubs in the world. What am I drinking? Hi, Joe. Nice to see you. Oh, great to see you in the chat. I am drinking, Joe, Sammy Klaus Barak, limited edition, 14% alcohol. You know me, Joe. Always the good stuff. I didn't buy it. Nice chase. Yeah, I was really, I did only have 2 pints in the pub. I was just so pissed off after losing the drone. I went for a couple of pints. And the pub, literally, I could hit it with a stone if I threw it from the boat. It's quite odd, actually, because where I'm moored, you sort of climb over the wall, but it's like a stile over the wall, and you walk straight into the pub car park. So it's a long way to the pub. The Bell is, yeah. So, So we've been in the Bell. I had a couple of pints, and they've got about 6 good ales on in there, real ales on. So that's always nice. I picked one of the weaker ones because I knew I was going to come and do the live stream, and I knew I was going to be drinking this. So I had a couple of pints in there. I was back on the boat before 7, so I wasn't out. And I didn't go till R5, so I wasn't out for long. But yeah, this is good. This is getting better with every sip, I think. I can't sort of place it to anything else I've drunk. It's quite unique. Absolutely gorgeous, though. And although I didn't have it in the fridge because I know these strong beers, really, they don't need going in the fridge. But it was out on the floor in the back cabin, which is cold. Since it's warmed up in here, the flavours are coming out, and I tell you, it's absolutely I fall over. Yes, it does, Joe. How are you keeping anyway? How's Deneen and Brandon? Hopefully everybody's good over there. I took the piss a little bit about the Super Bowl, didn't I, with you? All good. That's great. That's great. Yeah, great to see you here. Mark in the chat. It's also from the US, Mark. Joe. So yeah, got a few US people in here tonight. Discord. What year is the bottle and 2 from this year? This one here says it's 2022. I'm getting so it's not in the light too much. I haven't got that light coming down too strong. Hang on. Just that light up a little bit. Blind me now instead. Still didn't make much difference, did it? I'll find somewhere where it's not so glary. Yeah. Oh well. Give up on that idea. Yeah, that's the 2022. The other one, if you want, wait a second, I'll go and tell you. I'm back. Right. I can't read it without my glasses. They're both 2022 as well. So it should be the same. So I've got backup if I run out in a moment. Hi Lee, how you doing? Yeah, I hadn't checked them out the years before, but yeah, they're exactly the same year. So I guess the real ale store probably had them there from last year, but that's okay because all these strong beers will keep years and years as long as you don't let them in the light. And those weren't; they were still in the box on the floor in the back cabin where it's cool. Yeah, so it was like those Bourbon County from Goose Island. I kept them for 4 years on the boat, and they were absolutely fantastic. They actually got better and better and better. They really did. But keeping them for 4 years, that was hard work. Every time I saw them, I wanted to go. Yeah, they definitely improved over the years by far. And you talked about this one as well. I know the Bourbon County definitely did. The Bourbon County, the first year you have them, when they first come out, they taste alcoholic, and you can taste the alcohol. The second year, most of that is smoothed out, but it's still not a finished beer. It's still very good. Don't get me wrong. Whenever you drink them, they're very, very good. The third year, I noticed it really rounded off, and all the other flavors started to come through. Alcohol had totally gone. There was no taste of alcohol whatsoever after 3 years. And after 4 years, the finish was just, well, it was just so smooth. Yeah, it was like drinking a regular stout that makes you fall over very quickly. But yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. I'd say if you buy them and you can keep them and you can not drink them for 3 or 4 years, well worth doing. I think they say they keep. They even say they keep well up to 5 years. I see someone's typing. Stormwatch Druid. Yeah, King Goblin's only like 6% See, I'm on something really weak. This is 14%. So if I'm a bit wobbly, you know why. Oh, Free Floyd's lager. I'm not a big fan of lagers, as you know, Joe, but I know you do. If you see if you're on Google Maps, Alan, and at the bottom lock, alongside the bottom lock, looks like what might have been an old lock at one point in time, but I've been told it was an old loading wharf. You can actually see the moor and bollards. That's where I am. I'm right there. Oh, I hope everything ends up okay there. That's Stormwatch Druid. Hope your wife's all okay. Yeah, that's a proper beer. Supplied by Mark who's in the chat. Yeah, I always drink out of the bottle. I don't drink out of bottles. You got to have your 5-year anniversary with a proper beer. I'm going to get drunk tonight, guys. Oh, I didn't see that, Mark. This 2023 makes me want to find a few more while I can. Excellent. Oh, I would. Evening, Martin. Nice to see people in the chat tonight. As I say, fire some questions away. Excuse me. I'm drinking my medicine. I haven't been very well, so I'm having my medicine. You know, collars are all screwed up here. Oh well. Always grab the wrong side because that looks like the left-hand side. Well, it is the left-hand side, but when you're looking at it yourself from the camera, it's the other way around, isn't it? That's the left as I see it on the screen, and that's the right as I see it on the screen. And that's the bottle of beer as I see it on the screen. Whew. Cheers, everybody. Well, I'm glad the stream started working in the end because that was a bit annoying. Oh, you're over at Woodsmoke, Joe. Weekend over at Woodsmoke today. Bit early. What's the weather like in Illinois at the moment, anyway? I don't miss the really, 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 really cold weather in Illinois. At a bar. I really don't miss the really, really, really cold weather in Illinois, I must admit. We get chilly here, but compared with Illinois, it's shorts weather, you know what I mean? Yeah, we get minus temperatures. That's Celsius. We don't get minus temperatures really Fahrenheit over here. Not here anyway, not in England. Scotland does, but not in England particularly. Yeah. And we don't get tornadoes. Yeah. Watch one go past your front door and one go past your back door, Joe. That was scary, wasn't it? Although you weren't there for one of them, were you? 40s there today, yeah. Well, we've been a bit warmer in that today, actually. We've been up to what was it today? 12 Celsius. What's that? 50? Something like that. High 40s, 50. Yeah, something like that. That's actually quite mild, isn't it, for Coal City in February? Yeah, it's been very hit and miss this winter here, hasn't it? It's been wet. It's been a very wet winter. Um, I love the days in the winter here, and used to in England, when it would be blue skies, sunshine, but just about freezing all day long. Absolutely great days. This year, grey skies, cold, but not freezing, wet, and wetter, and even wetter. That's why it's taken me so long so far doing this trip. I'm not doing locks in the rain, and everybody knows that. I don't do locks in the rain. Well, I did the other day, but that's a because I got caught out doing them. If I know it's going to rain, I don't do locks. They're dangerous enough on your own anyway, without adding risk factors. Making the slippery slabs all the way around and all that, the slippery rocks. It's just not worth it, is it? But I've sat not moving the boat so many days this year because it's been chucking it down with rain. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. I thought I'd have been by this time on the Shropshire Canal, which I'm not going to go that way now because there's no point, because the locks are opening on the T&M now on the 14th, I believe, of March. And it's going to take me to the 14th of March to get there, I think. And if I'm there a day or so early, it doesn't matter, does it? Just wait a couple of days. Yeah, I almost wish, although I really enjoyed coming through this way, it's something I wouldn't have done this normally. I really wouldn't have come down here just because of the number of locks. I think I worked it out that rather than going up the T&M, which I was going to do, coming this way was an extra 132 locks. That's an awful lot of locks, and it's only about 30 miles further. I know 30 miles in a canal boat is like 3 days travelling, but yeah. I should have just stayed at or hung around at Atherstone a bit longer, then Fazeley Junction a bit longer, and then perhaps, I don't know, Hot was stayed there for a few days, and up through Fradley Junction, and just waited around till the middle of March. No, I didn't. I like moving, so I came this way. It was the only way I could get north without. Oh, and rider locks. I think it was actually what I was trying to think earlier. Rider locks, something like that. Anyway, um, they also closed 2 days after I went through them, so I had to get through those even to come this way. Oh, it's been here, there, and everywhere. Portsmouth. I know Portsmouth quite well. Had a bit of a mild. Well, then in Portsmouth, it's going to be a bit more mild than it is here as well. I'm in the Black Country at the moment, and if you're in the Black Country, don't say you're in Birmingham. The locals don't like you saying it's Birmingham, although according to the map it's Greater Birmingham, but no, this is the Black Country. And the people are great, I tell you. Can I say it on YouTube? The demographic around here are the same as me. Let's put it that way. Not if I got particularly things against, but go through centre of Birmingham, it's very intimidating. Yeah, I've seen knives being wielded and all sorts of things. It's very intimidating. This way, it's just people that lived here for. I talked to two guys the other night. They're both in their late 70s, and absolutely unbelievable. They've lived here all their life, and they were on about all the pubs that used to be here, and they've given me a chart of all the pubs I should stop at on the way through here, going towards uh, um, the Staffordson Worcester Canal. He knew every pub. Oh, don't stop there. That's an eatery. Oh, you want to go there? That's a great pub. They got some great beers. They brew their own beer as well. You get all this sort of. They're telling me about a pub here, up the top of the hill here. Now I was going to go there last night and meet the guy I was talking to. It was chucking it down with rain. And I wasn't walking up the hill to go to the pub. But that's called the Vine, and it's a brewery as well. But apparently, they only make two beers. They make a bitter and a mild. They've been making that bitter and a mild for donkey's years. And that's the only two beers they make. They've been doing it for donkey's years. And I'm told they're absolutely fantastic, both of them. If I was around tomorrow, well, I will be here tomorrow. It's going to rain again tomorrow, but the driest patch, I might get up there. But Portsmouth, yeah, Portsmouth. I've been to Portsmouth a few times. There's a pub in Portsmouth. Well, it used to be anyway, down near the docks. That its claim to fame was it was the narrowest pub in the UK. It might have been the narrowest pub in the world. It was like 6 foot wide. It was like coming onto a narrowboat. Straight. I don't know if it's still there. Yeah, I'm not saying they're not. Well, I'm just saying is when you go up through, if you do go up through, that's why I won't ever go up there again. Is up through um, Palmer's Locks, up through that way. Yeah, I'm not going to go into it on here because I can't say what I want to say on here. But yeah, frightening. Let's just put it that way. And I was being threatened. I can't tell you how I stopped being threatened because I will get into trouble if I tell you anymore. But yeah, Farmers Locks. Two people of not English descent jump on the roof of my boat, threatening me that they wanted money for me to go through the lock. Yeah. They didn't get any money. But and I'm not going to tell you how I got them to move because that might be illegal. Yeah, so I can't say too much because what I did was probably illegal. But there you go. What can I say? I was protecting myself and my boat. I didn't hurt anyone, by the way. I'll make that clear. I didn't hurt anyone. I didn't touch anyone. I didn't shoot anyone. I didn't do anything stupid like that. I didn't hurt anyone. I just gave them a threat, so he went away. But yes, but yeah, otherwise boating normally, most people you meet so many nice people on the canals, not just boaters. Most, I'll say, where was I a couple of weeks ago? I was at Bumblehole, okay, last week. I was at Bumblehole, and the volunteers that walk around there and pick up the litter and tidy up the trees and cut down the ivy off the tree and do all sorts of nice things to keep the place looking really, really nice. Okay, and they're all volunteers. This lady comes up to me and she's obviously the leader of the people there. And she said to me, "We're cutting out and sorting out some firewood over there or some trees. Would you like it for firewood?" I said, "Oh yeah, let me know where it is, and I'll come and get it." So, "Oh no," so I'll get the lads to bring it over to your boat for you. Absolutely fantastic, isn't it? Absolutely fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Andrew. That's very much appreciated. I don't, other boaters do. They manage to bring that up onto the screen, but I don't know how to do that. I really don't. I don't know if you can do it. I don't know if you can do it on. I use the free version of the YouTube Studio. I don't do live streams every day or anything like that to pay for it, and it just wouldn't be ever worth it. You know what I mean? I really appreciate that, Andrew. But I've messed something up and I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, that's it. Got it back. I clicked on the thing to try and do something with it, and let's click on up here. No, I don't know. I know some people manage to bring comments and that sort of thing up on the screen, but nope, I don't think I can do it without having the paid version. But thank you very, very, very much indeed. Oh, I've got well behind here as people are talking on my wet and windy. Well, I really appreciate it. I tried to be decent, and I knew what you meant. I assumed you didn't mean a blockhead. Yeah. Well, I'm getting a little bit tipsy here, guys. This is, when I took the very first sip, actually, I'll tell you what, I think it's improved because the CO2's then disappearing out of it. It's gone a little flatter. It was very fizzy, and I couldn't really taste anything because there was so much CO2 in my mouth. I couldn't really taste anything. All I feel was the bubbles popping around everywhere. So when I put it, I did this. I swirled it around my mouth. All I could feel was the CO2 bubbles. I wasn't really tasting anything. But now, most of them are gone. That is an incredibly good beer. It really is. Yeah. I'm going to keep the other two bottles for a while because I think a lot of you know in here, not Steve Tyrrell. Steve Tyrrell's a great friend as well. Don't get me wrong. But Steve Haddock on Narrowboat Brutus Maximus, he had some beers made by some Trappist monks, and we drank these beers, and they were really strong as well, really good. I think I'd like to share one of these bottles with him to see what he thinks about this, but he's not going to get a whole bottle. He's going to share it with me next time I see him. And seeing as I only bump into Steve like every couple of years, I might have to save a bottle for a while. We'll see if that happens. That's it. I couldn't remember the name of it. That's it. And that's where I believe that they've got like 6 pubs, bathrooms, and that is where they brew it. Thank you very much, Daniel. That's absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, technical stuff. Yeah, I had a big technical error when I tried to stream tonight. It just kept whirly birding, and I'd already checked the internet. Yeah, that's enough. I had when I checked this afternoon, it was a little bit better than what it was this evening. But this afternoon, when I checked the internet, it was the download speed. I think was like 38, and the upload about 44. Well, that's loads to stream with. I know. Then I tried the stream, and I got the whirly bird. So I thought, oh, I'll check it out, see what's wrong. I did a speed test. I still had an upload, a download speed of 20. I can't remember what was there, 28 or something like that, and an upload speed of 30 something. I thought that's got to be good enough for streaming. No, I think you need about 4 or 5 to stream decently without buffering. So anyway, I've restarted my computer and it came on that time. But after I tried moving the phone, I used my hotspot my phone for the laptop. I tried it in every window of the boat, basically trying to, well, that direction, this direction. It ends up it's in the front door at the moment, but that's good enough. It's not plugged in at the moment, but it doesn't need to be. It was fully charged, so it'll keep going for a while. Well, if it's not peeing down with rain tomorrow all day, Daniel, I am going to go up that hill and have a pint of Bathams, I think they pronounced it. The Bathams? Bathams, I think they pronounced it in the pub. I've got a new drone in for a month, awaiting my first proper flight. Quite scary, checking that money up in the sky. I don't know if you was here for the start of the stream. I don't think you were you? Yeah, I had a very expensive drone flight today. I don't even own a drone, but I've been borrowing Simeon's for the last few months. That's what the drone shots you might have seen occasionally. It's been so windy, I've hardly put the drone up. Today, I was on my way back from shopping, and I'd looked up the locks, and the sun was shining straight on them, and it looked absolutely gorgeous. And every of the bywashers coming around every lock, they're like small waterfalls, and everyone had water coming over them. And I was just looking at it, I thought, oh, that's beautiful. So I came back on the boat, put all the food away, got the drone out, sent it up over the locks. It's only been flying about a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and I just got over about the second lock, and a bird flew into it. And I didn't have I'd moved it wasn't over the water, which I might have been able to fish it out if it was, but I'd moved the drone slightly over to the non-towpath side because I wanted the shot at the way the weird work would come over, and it was actually beautiful. No, I'm 3 times higher than the trees. Okay, and this bird flies into the drone, and the drone, I think it must have broke off one of the rotor blades. I saw it all happening on my phone. You know, when I'm watching it, and there's feathers going off everywhere, and the drone drops into the trees. You can't get anywhere near it. You can't even get over there. So I owe Sim a drone. I think, yeah, they're expensive. Yeah. Andrew, I am coming your way because, as I said, I'm changed my mind about going the Troppy. I'm going to cut across to Great Haywood and come up that way. So I will be coming through Stoke, and I will be at Burslem. I can moor up there. The best place to moor up is opposite the Middlewich pottery, or over at Westport Lake. Middlewich pottery is a shorter walk up the hill than from Westport Lake. But yeah, I'm up for a beer there, definitely. Titanic Brewery. I thought I walked to the Titanic Brewery once. I googled it and I walked to I think it's the Bull. It's the Titanic pub. So I got that all wrong, but there you go. I was I was flying. I had because I wanted to go up all the locks and I just wanted to keep the same height. I put the drone up to 120 meters when it got hit. Is that 120 meters? Meters? Yeah, I think it was meters. It was up quite high. Well, anyways, I went and had a couple of pints and consolidate myself and cried in my beer. Not quite, but yeah, that's an expense I didn't plan on. Yeah, Stoke-on-Trent. Interesting place. I Burslem, great. Go. I don't. I'm not a big fan of the Stoke locks. Never had any problems. Don't get me wrong, not that. But I don't know what it is with those locks. I've done them what 10 times probably in the last 5 years. I don't know what the problem is. Last couple of times I've been up there, but I don't think it's there anymore. I'd give Rob the lock a call and get him to lock me up. But I don't think it's there anymore. Actually, I think I was at 120 feet because I think I'm on feet as well. Because when I said 120 meters, I'm thinking I don't know if I can see that far up in the air, and I could definitely still see the drone if I looked up. So it might be set at feet as well. Um, yeah. Well, it's not saying anything now. It's set at tree now. Cheers, Boat Victoria. I'm getting short of beer. I might have to go and find another beer if I'm going to stay here chatting. This is bloody gorgeous. This has definitely got better. I'll tell you what, if you measure up the bottle, that bit down to there, I thought, it's okay, but nothing special. It's all fizzy. Down to about there, I thought, ooh, this is getting really good. Down to about here, I'm thinking, wow, that's really good. Now I'm down to here. It's that was fantastic. Mm. I'm not very good at acronyms. I don't know what NEBO is. I'm terrible at acronyms. When I was over in the US, everybody uses acronyms for everything, and I have to keep saying, "What does that mean?" Biggest learning curve. Biggest learning curve. Mm. See, I've been boating years and years for years and years and years before moving on to the boat. So as for learning curves, um, probably managing electric. That's probably the worst thing, was managing electric in the early days. Now I don't have too much problem with managing electric since I threw 200, 200 since I threw two 300 amp hour lithium batteries on the boat. Electric, I don't have any problems with. Westport Lake, yeah, Westport Lake mooring is great. I don't mind mooring also opposite the Middleport Potteries. There's always boats there as well, so it's never too much of a problem. And it's also it's quite a it's got to be it's quite a shorter distance to walk. So I don't mind either to moor to walk up to go to the brewery. I did look it up before. Oh, okay. Yeah, apps on my phone are really a waste of time because I never have my phone out with me when I'm outside. I just literally I go on to CRT website, put up the maps, look where I'm going for the day, and memorize it. My phone doesn't come out the back with me. It never goes on the locks with me or anything like that. My phone stays in the boat. It's my only form of communication for everything because it's my Wi-Fi. It's everything. So my phone never goes outside the boat unless I'm going off shopping or something. Then it's in my coat pocket and zips in. Otherwise, yeah, I don't. I don't. I do have an app on my phone. I don't know what one it is, but don't really ever use it. Uh, as I say, I'm never outside. I downloaded one. I don't know when, a couple of years ago, and I think I've used it twice. I can actually look stuff up and memorize a lot. I can for what I'm going to do in the day. I can memorize it where I'm going to go, the bridge numbers, the bridge names. And I may not fully memorize them, but when I see them, I recognize them and know where I am. Yeah, as for phones, I'm not a phone person. I don't go and get my phone now because it's in the front window and of the boat, and I might lose everything. And I don't really care what my location is to Google Maps. To be honest with you, the only thing I care about is what my location is to where the nearest pub is. No, I'm joking. But my locations normally, I'm looking for shopping, pubs, where the locks are, and where I can moor. That's what I need to know. I don't need very simple person, me. He says, "Oh, I'm going to go and get a beer, guys, and I'm going to go and get another really special beer." I'm back. Now you see, talking about Titanic Brewery and all that, it made me go and get one of these. Yeah, I'm looking forward to trying another one of these. I haven't had one of these for a long time. Mark supplied these this Christmas. I drank all of that one from last Christmas. Find a bottle opener on mine. Yeah. So this is the Titanic Plum Porter Grand Reserve port infused beer. This is only 6.5%. Only, he says. I didn't wash the glass out, but two good beers together shouldn't hurt. Let that settle down a little bit. Do you know, the nose on this one wasn't particularly that special. It really wasn't. The taste was absolutely phenomenal. Now, the nose on this, instantly you smell the plums, and it's got a fantastic nose. Weird, isn't it? Because that other beer was absolutely fantastic, and so is that. Totally different beers, of course. Totally different. Flavors are completely different. Yeah. Oh, so it lets you know where other boaters are. I'm definitely not going on it then. Hello, Davey F. DeMarco. Having a beer myself. Good health, mate. Good health to you too. There's nothing like having a good beer, is there? Um, no, if it tells other people where I am, I don't want the app. I don't mind telling you where I am sometimes, but sometimes I want to be a little bit incognito. Not because I don't want people coming and seeing me. It's because if I'm not on my boat, I don't want people coming and knowing where my boat is. And I'm not going anywhere tomorrow, particularly unless I walk up the hill. I didn't plan. So letting people know where I am today, I don't. Not, and people in here are watching me because they want to watch me. Um, yeah, there's too many wrongings out there these days. That's why I I use VPNs and I use everything to try and keep incognito to a big degree. Funny that when I do a YouTube channel and tell everybody where I've been, that's the difference. I've told people where I've been most of the time, not where I am. I just don't trust people out there anymore. I just don't trust them. I I trust boaters, but there's too many people that go onto these boating apps that are not boaters. Yeah, thank you, Alan. Yeah, as I say, I people in the live chat here, I've got absolutely no problem at all. You know where I am. You're all supporters of the channel. You'll watch the channel, so you're all supporters of the channel, and you know it's absolutely great. But these apps and everything, today I hear that the government told phone company what's wrong with my brain today? It's gone. I can't even think of anything today. Um, iPhone that they've got to reduce their security so that the government can look in and see what people are doing and saying on their phones, like what they put in the cloud and things like this. Well, personally, I never put anything in the cloud. My laptop, when I first bought this laptop, what's that now? 6 years ago. This laptop's getting quite old. I still keeps popping up. You haven't completed the setup to allow access to the cloud. I don't want your cloud, okay? I don't want to put anything in the cloud. I keep all my stuff private. That's why I use a VPN. That's why I don't go into these things which go off. It's not particularly anything to hide. I just don't want the government know what I'm doing, as I can't trust anyone in the government these days. Absolutely evil people we have over here at the moment. I believe absolutely evil. Oh, I'm off on a rant. Sorry. Yeah, I'm totally with you. I don't, as I say, I bump into people. I'm. It's amazing. I can't believe how many people that I bump into that say they watch my channel. I just can't believe there's that many people out there who watch my videos sometimes. It's quite, it's, it's, it makes you feel so proud about it in a way, you know what I mean? It's just such a great feeling. The video you saw, if you'd seen it earlier on today, the 4 o'clock video, when I come up Perry Bar Locks, I moored up, and I moored up in front of a guy on a boat, little boat there, and I got nothing against what I could smell you smoking weed. Okay, whatever. A lot of my friends smoke weed. They're on boats. No big deal. He comes wandering over. He goes, "You're Trev, aren't you?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "I watch all your videos." You know, I couldn't believe it. You know, and he goes, "Yeah, I love your videos." And I said, "Well," I said, "You'll be on one now, or your boat will be, because I filmed it coming up there, which I think will be the start of the next video." I think I've got where I got to now on videos. Well, Andre, very nice to meet you. Greetings from somewhere in England, wherever I forgot I told you I was. Bratch, no, not Bratch. I'm not at Bratch Locks. I'm at Delph Locks in the Black Country. You got lots of canals in the Netherlands. I've been to Amsterdam. Beautiful city. Well, it was when I went there 200 years ago. I'm not 200 years old quite. Yeah, well, gee whiz, got 20 people watching now. This is hey, do you realise, guys? I mean, well, no, I was going to say I started at 8, but I didn't do it because I screwed around and nothing was working and it was going, where, wordy bird. So, what was it, 10 past 8 we started? So, it's still well over an hour. Well over an hour, and I'm still standing up just. I'll tell you one thing I don't have to worry about on these live streams anymore is running out of electric. Used to, when I did the live streams at 8 o'clock, I used to have to turn my inverter off about then, so I'd make sure I'd have enough electric to get through the night. Nowadays, my inverter is still on, and it can be on till I go to bed. Whenever I go to bed, 11. It could stay on all night. It wouldn't matter. I just like to turn it off at night time because the difference putting on those 2 big lithium batteries has made such a difference to my life when it comes to electric. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. So yeah, that is a huge difference. And of course, it was sunny today, so my battery's fully recharged today on solar. Yeah, middle of February, and I was pulling in nearly 15 amps of solar today, so that's pretty darn good in February. Really happy with that, and the batteries were fully charged by about 2 o'clock, so that's even better. Oh, you're absolutely spot on, Mark. Absolutely spot on. My old solar panels, which I had, actually, I don't think one of them ever worked. It was one until I took them down or started playing around and put 2 new ones on. I realised when I was taking the other ones out that when I took one off, as I took one off originally, and to put the new one on, and the ampage coming in didn't change. It wasn't much anyway. It was like 2.5 amps coming in, and I disconnected one and set it all back up, so I had a little bit coming in still, and it was exactly the same as it was before. So I'm thinking, I don't think that one ever worked. Yeah, so don't know. So anyway, the 4 new ones I have, I put on 2 first of all last year, and When was it? In March time? Can't remember. Put 2 new ones on. And then I bought 2 more and put 2 more on. And all year round now, if it's a sunny day, which we haven't had, we've had what, 3 days since Christmas. It's been awful. But on all of those sunny days we've had, I can nearly run. Well, I can run all day on the solar, no problem at all. On the boat, it's enough coming in to keep my batteries up, and I might just have to run the engine for half an hour or so at night just to make sure I get through the night. So you got to remember, I've got a fridge freezer running on here off my batteries. Plus, I've got my laptop on all the time. I very rarely put the TV on. I've got a bloody great TV here. It very rarely goes on because I don't watch TV. I do everything on the laptop. But yeah, it's solar is just unbelievable to what I had originally. And in the summer months, I will get over 50 amps of solar coming in. Or I can do, but it won't be because my batteries will be charged well before that. If I put on something like last year, if I put on something like the slow cooker running all day, or I put the immersion heater on, it will suddenly go from like very small amperage coming in because the batteries were getting fully charged. But that was on the old lead acid, because once they start getting full, they just die off. Where the lithiums would just go suck it all in and then go dunk off. Although I still have 1 lead acid on the boat, which I put in to protect my alternator, because alternators don't like just not charging suddenly. So if you only have lithiums, you have to put in extra things or whatever, all sorts of things to protect your alternator. But if you leave 1 lead acid in and connect what I've done is the alternator is connected to the lead acid, and then the cables go from the lead acid to the lithiums. So the alternator is going to the lead acid basically, and because when the alternator is running, there's still everything's on. You know what I mean? The fridge is still on. I always leave the inverter on during the day, so there's always some little drawer. So the lead acid will always never ever be full, basically, not to switch it off. So it protects your alternator from literally over amping or over voltage actually, and just killing it, burning it out. But yeah, I'm talking a load. I'm waffling here, aren't I? Sorry about that, guys. I'm just waffling about stuff. And do you know what? I'll tell you a little bit more about that. If I go on to the UK, I don't know if it's changed, but I was on some of the UK websites about installing lithium. And you can't do this, you can't do that. You have to have this, you have to have that. You have to do all this, that, and the other. Okay, that's a lot of money. I was watching a guy in the US on a sailboat. I don't know what sort of boat it is, putting lithium batteries in. He said, I'm leaving one of my lead acids, he said, because when I'm running the engine and to charge the lithiums, it'll protect the alternator. And he just showed how to wire it up. And he said, been working there for 2 years or whatever it was. He said, and he said it was on YouTube. I was watching the video, and he said never had a problem since. I thought, well, it's got to be the easiest way to do it I've ever seen. And all these other videos I've watched on narrowboats and wiring it up, they've made it so complicated. It was unbelievable. Where this guy, thank you, I can't remember your name now, but brilliant. And I haven't had a problem since I wired mine up just after Christmas, just before the New Year. So brilliant. And I see people keep putting things up here. A German factory gets a device in production in 2027, they said. Okay. It's called Neutrino Energy Cube. Quantum energy. Well, that could be a step in the right direction if they've got it right. Yeah, boat electrics actually, they're not that complicated. I honestly believe people make them a lot more complicated than they are. Uh, I did electrical engineering at college, so I'd learnt a lot about electrics and that sort of thing back in the day. And what we worked on actually at college was always 12-volt systems for safety reasons. So we weren't plugging our fingers into 240 volts. Um, I don't think they're as complicated and so some people want to make. Well, I don't know. It's people that are selling you something. Victron, for instance, they want to sell you 1,000 different pieces to make one thing work. You don't need most of that stuff. My eye is playing me up, by the way, guys. It's weeping like hell. Um, Probably got alcohol poisoning, but there you go. And this plum porter is as excellent as I remember it being last year. Ah, cool. That's another great beer. I'm spoilt today. Two fantastic beers, completely different, but fantastic in their own right. Yeah, see, my boat electrics are probably what I was going to say. It's some of the simplest electrics you can come across. I have a simple engine. I have a Lister 3-cylinder, simple engine. There's only one thing connected to my engine, which for the display, and that's not really to the engine. That's to the alternator. It's the only thing I have is the alternator light. I have no oil pressure, no oil light, no temperature sender, none of it. Just ignition light. That's how simple that side is. And the other side is once you get to your wiring and your electrics, once you put a 12-volt system in round your boat, you can run, as long as you put heavy enough cables in, obviously, yeah, you can run most things that you want to run off of 12 volts. Be it your light, well, these days, all my lighting in here is LED. Or the lights pointing towards me actually are 240 they're on the off the inverter. They're plugged in. Um, it just gives a lot better light for doing live streams. Well, either side of me are two 12-volt LED lights. Yeah, 240-volt. Well, you put a ring main in, don't you? I got two ring mains I put in, one down each side of the boat. And whatever your inverter will cope with, you got to remember to do the math. When if you plug in something that says it's on 240 volts, or my inverter is 220 volt, it's not 240 actually, and a lot of them are only 220 volts. It's basically because they make them for the US, and then they just double it. So there's 110-volt over there, and they just double it so it's 220. But everything runs on 220-volt. It's not a problem, and I can choose also if I run it on 50 or 60 hertz. Obviously, it's 60 hertz was in the US, 50 hertz over here. Yeah, the voltage. You have to remember when you're doing the calculations, if something is I don't know, 5 amps at 240 volts. It's not 5 amps at 12 volts. I can't remember the math right now to work it all out. I probably can work it out in my head. But you're going to be talking about 5 amps is going to be probably somewhere in the region. I'm just trying to work this out now in my head. At 12 volts, 25 20 amps, something like that, 25 amps, something like that. But yeah, I've got the calculation. I've been doing this too much tonight. I used to be able to do it in my head, and I've done When I first bought the boat, I was doing it all the time, calculating out what it was in 12 volts. I haven't done that one for ages because I haven't bought anything new, so it's not up here anymore to work it all out. Oh yes, definitely Stormwatch. Yeah, yeah, working out how much is the game. And thank you very much, Andre. Catch you again, hopefully, somewhere. Um, yeah, say working it all out. I just went over the top in the end. Lithium batteries have come down in price so much is quite crazy. When I first bought the boat, a 300 amp hour lithium battery would have cost about £1,500, easy, if not more. But you see, even when I bought my lithium batteries now, um, you can get them. I could bought exactly the same brand. I paid £379 each for my batteries, my lithium batteries, 300 amp hour each. But I bought the basic standard ones. I could have bought them Bluetooth, so I could link them to my phone, so I could see what the charge is and all that. I don't need any of that. All I need to know is they're working. They got enough charge in them, and basically all that information is on my MPPT controller. So all I got to do is stick my head in the back cabin, look at the controller, and it tells me everything on there anyway. I don't need it to an app to my phone. And the extra cost getting that app to your phone from your batteries, those batteries, exactly the same batteries, are £150 each more. Yeah, I didn't need to spend 300 quid just to so I could have an app on my phone. Which my phone was never on me anyway. It's always sat on the boat anyways. So what's the blooming difference? Yeah. So yeah, but lithium batteries have definitely dropped tremendously in price. I bought one on Amazon, and I got them delivered to my parents' house. And since I put them in, game changer, absolute total game changer. Yeah, I'm not an apps person, so well, I use a phone. I do. I have a phone, and I don't have a problem with apps. I just don't want most of them. I bought a narrowboat to live a simpler life. I love living my simpler life. I've lived in a house many a time, there, and everywhere. Many over here in the UK, a couple in the US. Well, I lived in an apartment, then a house in the US. Um, but yeah, I don't need anything to be too technical. And I'll tell you what, anyone that lives in a house and has got a smart meter is an idiot. Sorry about that, but you are. Because when with all this Ed Miliband BS that he's trying to do now, we're going to run the country on windmills and solar panels. Well, we have an awful lot of days when the sun doesn't shine and the wind doesn't blow. They can turn you off. They can turn you off on your smart meter, and smart meters over in the US is just the same, by the way. They can turn your smart meter off so you don't get any electric. They can control it from remote. So yeah, can't control mine. But yeah, smart meters, they're only smart for the energy companies. They're not smart for the people that are using them. Like a lot of this technology, not smart for the people, smart for somebody that's, smartphones. Who are they smart for? Smart TVs. Who are they smart for? They're not for the user. They're smart for the people controlling it all. Smart cars, it just goes on and on and on. There's nothing smart about them, is there, really and truly? It's just connected to a bloody computer, and everything's been connected to the computer for years. Oh dear. I don't need the stress when I'm having a dinner in a pub. I don't care. Oh, I'm very rarely having a dinner in a pub. That's perhaps once a year max. But I don't need the stress either. And half the time I go to the pub, I don't even take my phone with me. A couple of reasons for that. Half the time it's on the boat because I'm doing an upload or something on a video because I use the internet a lot. Yeah, I just don't need a phone with me. Friends would call me occasionally and go, "I couldn't get hold of you. I didn't have the phone with me." But I'll always call them back. And I always tell people, if you call me or message me and I don't answer you, it's not because I'm ignoring you. It's because I don't have my phone with me or I'm not looking at it. I'm moving the boat. There's no point having the phone at the back anyway when I'm moving the boat. I want to hear it ring over my Lister, my three-cylinder air-cooled Lister engine. You'll never hear it over the top of it anyway. So it's pointless having the phone at the back. I just leave it inside the boat all the time. But yeah, it's I'll always call you back. As soon as I see the message, I see the missed call, I'll always call you back. But just because I don't answer it does not mean I'm ignoring you. I don't ignore people. That's not me, is it? Oh, there. My fire's looking a bit dead up there. It's starting to cool off in here. I might have to go and look at my fire in a minute, peeps. I might have to bring this live stream to a close someone as well. Oh, it's been a good. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Yeah, I can't believe that as well, Mark. Do you know what? I was sat in not that hot, but not today or anything like that. Because this pub here is like a proper pub. People talk to each other in here, which is great. You know, Black country. I'll tell you what. This part of the world, this part of the country, everybody is so friendly. Young couple walk in tonight. I sat down. They said, "Oh, can we sit here?" I said, "Yeah, of course you can. No table, chairs. Sit down, plenty of room." And within minutes, we're chatting to each other. No, they're sort of sat this one. I'm sat. No, within minutes, they're going, "Oh no, that's not a local accent. Where are you from?" Well, I was born in Winchester, but it's local to me today because my boat's moored outside. Oh, you got a boat? Yeah. Start talking about different things, but you know, and they didn't get their phones out once. Okay, and I saw very few people with their phones out in that pub. But some pubs you're going to, especially the ones which are more, shall we say, not pubs, more restauranty, and you'll see people come into a pub, sit down at a table, and there could be 4 or 5 of them, and all they're doing is they've got the phones out in front of them. Every single one of them are on their phones. Throw the things in the bin and talk to each other. You're in a pub, and not one person's talking to each other around the table. They're all just looking at their bloody phones. Oh, it annoys me. And there's nothing to do with me because I don't have my phone with me. If my phone is with me, I've got a zipper pocket. And if I'm out like tonight, I did take my phone with me because I was expecting a call. Got a zipper pocket in the jacket I was wearing at the front. Now it's safe there because if I'm jumping off the boat, it doesn't fall out my pocket. So I zip it in, go to the pub, get back from the pub. I got a text message when I was in the pub. I did look at the text message and I answered it because I was expecting a call or a text. And I answered it, and but that's the only time the phone come out. Back in the pocket, get back in the boat, and link it up back for the laptop for the Wi-Fi. And that was it. But I do notice in the proper pubs, people aren't on their phones all the time. It's odd because as soon as you go into a pub that's more restauranty, than a pub, they're on the phones all the time. I don't know. It's just observation. Yeah, smart meters. Ask them to put an old-fashioned one in. They won't, because they won't do it anymore. I guess you don't mean on your boat, by the way. Unless you're only on land hookup. I don't have a hookup on this boat. I can't hook up if I want to. I don't have one connected. Continuously cruise all the time, so I don't need a hookup. And being an ex-hire boat, it never had a hookup, so I don't plan on ever going into a marina, so I don't need one. Yeah, you're totally right, Mark. Smartphones are for people with very, very short attention spans. And it's like, I've never been on there, so I can't tell you much about it. I know what other people say is TikTok. TikTok is all very short clips, isn't it? As far as I know, and it's people that short come back. I can't think what I was saying. Attention. People with short attention spans watch TikTok, I'm guessing. They'll never sit there and watch a 2 or 3 hour movie, will they? Not I do that very often either, by the way. Good for you. Get on a boat. Can't beat it, I tell you. I've been doing it for 5 years now on my own. Best decision I ever made in my life. Really is. Best decision I ever made in my life, buying this boat. I honestly hope I don't get too ill that I can't continuously cruise. And if I do, I really don't want to ever move back onto land. Yeah, I struggle living in houses these days. I go to visit my parents every Christmas. I'm only there for a couple of days, and 2 days in the house, I'm bashing my head against a brick wall almost. I'm only there for 2 to 3 days. I'm not comfortable in a house anymore. I don't know why it is. Really don't. I want to get out, and I love my parents to death, and my brother's there and everything. The environment is perfect. I'm with my family, who I love to death. But it's being in bricks and mortar. It, I just, it's quite crazy because I feel enclosed when I'm in the house. I live in a narrowboat. I can touch both sides of the bloody boat as I'm sitting down. So feeling enclosed, you think you got to feel enclosed in a boat. I don't. I think it's because the freedom I have as soon as I step outside the boats. But yeah, I'm like, people tell me I'm crazy anyway. I probably am, but you know what I mean. Twat talk, yeah. Sorry for the language. We can put up with that in the chat. It's just that I don't. People get too rude in there. It can get a bit yeah. YouTube don't like it and they ban my video and things like this. Yeah, but yeah. I've never ever been on TikTok, so I've no idea exactly what it's about. I only see what I see on some videos, and on YouTube, people will put up TikTok bits and that sort of thing. I mean, no, I can't be doing that. No, I don't really. I'm on Facebook. I don't post very much on there. The only thing I normally post on there is about I'll put up a new video. I'm not. I believe, well, it might still be on there. What's it called? Oh, excuse me. Drink's getting to me. It's also nearly 10 o'clock. What's the? Can't think of what it's called. I stopped posting on it, whatever it was. It's also linked to, I believe it's linked to Facebook, Instagram. Yeah, Instagram. I I used to put on photos and that sort of thing on Instagram when I was living in the US. And when I came back to the UK, suddenly they stopped. You had to do it from a phone, put photos up from a phone. You couldn't do it from your laptop anymore. So I just went and never used it since. I haven't been back on it since. I still got the account, I think. But you know what? I take photographs normally with my camera or, you know, with GoPro or whatever, but normally with my camera. Um, if I'm taking photographs, I don't take photographs with my phone. And it's only accept photographs from a phone to upload. Well, and goes. I don't need Instagram. I was only using it to promote YouTube. So yeah. So anyway, I was going to bring this to an end a minute ago, and I had another sip, and I come up with another load of bullshit to talk about. Ooh, YouTube, cut that bit out. Another load of rubbish to talk about. Yeah, Slurpy Dave, where are you? I'll have to text him later and ask him what he was. Yeah. Or the Isle of Man, since they've decided to go to all wind farms and all that rubbish, plus they ain't got any electric anymore to connect to anything. Although I don't think they've put them in yet. What amazes me actually with the Isle of Man, they have an interconnector to the UK. We have internet connectors to France and Norway, I believe it is. Could even be to Holland as well. We have a few interconnectors, and I'm thinking they have an interconnector. Well, they want to do all these wind farms in the Isle of Man. So when the wind doesn't blow, they're going to try and get an interconnector to the UK. Well, if the wind's not blown on the Isle of Man, it's probably not blown also on the UK, because we're probably on a big high pressure. So where they're gonna interconnect to us, and we're interconnecting to France and Norway. Um, so where's their electric going to actually come from? Somewhere halfway across the world? Don't I mustn't get going on net stupid. But, well, it is. I am into my emergency Guinness. Your fault, Trev. got, got none of this 14% stuff. I got two more. And I'm not even halfway down this bottle yet. It's up here. I'm going to be sloshed by the time I go to bed. I can do an emergency Guinness. I hope it's not Guinness Zero. Cheap co-op vodka. Well, vodka normally is always drunk with a mixer, so it really doesn't make much difference what vodka you're using. Because if you're putting a mixer into it, it's going to taste of whatever the mixer is. Yeah, Coke. You see, so your vodka tastes of Coke. Why buy an expensive vodka if you're going to make it taste of Coke? I don't understand it. And actually, I actually tried a little thing once. Yeah, spot on. When I lived in the US, and I used to bartend sometimes at the other bar, Donna, um, who ran the bar there, I bartended occasionally there. And once I tried a little experiment with a few people, and I used the bar vodka, the I can't remember what it was. Anyway, 5 different vodkas, little bit of each, little bit of Coke in all of them, and I got people to taste and tell me which was the top shelf vodka. None of them got it right. Not one person knew which was, because it came about because someone was on was it um Patron vodka, something like that. Anyway, being the best, and they have it with Coke, and that's how it all came about. And I literally had that, and I had some others, Smirnoff or whatever, you know what I mean, and the bar vodka, which was cheap as chips, basically, compared with these other ones if you want to buy them. And they they actually picked Smirnoff was the best one, not the two upper, no, not the Grey Goose or whatever the other ones, Patron, or something it's called, something like that. Probably know what I mean. But yeah, anyway, they chose one of the cheaper ones as being the better one out of all the 5. So it just proves they don't know the blooming difference when they add Coke to it or whatever. Because vodka doesn't have a lot of flavour. It tastes of alcohol, basically, that's all it does. So it only ever tastes of what you put in it. So why buy the expensive one? Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. I enjoy occasionally a gin and tonic. I don't buy expensive gins. Not if I'm adding tonic to it. What's the point? No, I don't know. Don't know. Just don't get it. I can't think what I bought the other day. I bought it in Aldi, I think it was. Bought a bottle of booze, and I haven't bought one forever. Was that gin? Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was a bottle of gin in Aldi. Oh, it was. It was a bottle of rhubarb and ginger gin I bought in Aldi. I love rhubarb and I love ginger, so I love the flavours of that. And I bought. I didn't buy tonic. Yeah, I did. I bought some. I bought some. I bought um, the little tonics you get. Like little tonics in a can. I think they come a dozen in a box or whatever. And I put a whole can in, and then fill my glass up to the top with the gin, and it was absolutely excellent. And that gin and well, I guess the place I was at, the shop I was in, obviously couldn't move them because they had it on reduced. They had it for £9.99 for a bottle of gin. I think it was reduced from 14.99. Absolutely excellent gin it was. Absolutely excellent. I thought it was. Well, especially when I got tonic in it anyway. But you could taste the ginger and you could taste the rhubarb in it. And two of my favourite things. But yeah, it didn't last very long, that bottle of gin. I drank it in a few nights. I didn't have any beer on the boat at the time. Well, I did have. I've lots of beers on the boat. There's just not ones I wanted to drink. These are special occasion beers, not ones just to drink. Yes, I wanted to drink. But yeah, so that was that. So yeah, yeah, gin. What? Yeah, Aldi gin. Nothing wrong with it at all. I'm going to assure you. I think it's normally either 13.99, 14.99, something like that. Whatever it is, it's not a fortune. And they had it for 9.99 special offer or whatever. End of line or something or other. They're probably bringing one similar in, which is a slightly different name. Hello, Dottie. Great to see you. From Michigan, I believe. Am I right or wrong there, Dottie? You're in Michigan? Uh, we've got people all over the US in here tonight. I've had, I think, as many US viewers tonight as I have UK viewers. And it's great to see all my, well, I'm going to call you all friends from the US. Is that okay? You don't mind me calling you all friends from the US? And Joe, who was in there earlier, I don't know if he's still around. I haven't seen him for a while. Joe Massinio. He was my next door neighbour but one when I lived in Coal City. And we've definitely had a few of those together. Thank you, Dottie. See, I do remember my friends around the world. But yeah, it's yeah, US tonight. You're banging it. You're banging it. Absolutely brilliant. And I'm banging it with the Still got 16 people, 17 people. Someone else has just come in the live tonight, and I'm gonna have to go for a few seconds, guys. My fire looks dead from here, and the temperature's starting to drop off. I've got to go and put something on my fire. Right, sorry about that, guys. I had to do that. I walked up there with my glasses on, and these are reading glasses. We're close up, and so able to see where I was walking. Oh well. Well, it could have just been the beer. I'm not sure which it was, but I got up there, threw some sticks on the fire, logs. I just done that, yeah. You gotta fill your glass up, yeah. Go and fill the glass up. I've been filling my glass up all night. Ah, gee whiz, we've got to be getting close to 2 hours in now. 1 hour and 53 minutes and 39 seconds. Oh, I haven't done a live stream this long for a long time. That's nice, just sat there chatting away. It's funny, I'm sat here chatting to nobody really, am I? I'm just talking to myself on the screen here in front of me. But you're all listening. It's quite weird, and even more people are coming into the live stream. It dropped down earlier on to 13 people, back up to 18 now. You can keep your Jack Daniels. Do you know Jack Daniels is the biggest selling whiskey in the world, and I think it's one of the worst whiskies I've ever tried in the world. That's not quite true. Some of those Spanish whiskies and some of those Japanese whiskies are the pits. I don't drink whiskey anymore, so very rarely drink whiskey. I used to be a big whiskey drinker, but I haven't drunk whiskey for a long, long time to say I drink it. Occasionally, I might have one. And in fact, if I drink whiskey today, I normally drink Irish whiskey. And the one I really like is called Redbreast. I think Redbreast, value for money, is the best whiskey I've ever drunk in my entire life. Value for money. And when I lived in the US, I used to always buy myself, especially after I got divorced, I was always buy myself a bottle of whiskey for Christmas. And I'd always spend somewhere between $200 and $300 for a bottle of whiskey. And it was always Scotch. They were always very good. But then I suddenly come across Redbreast over in the US, Irish whiskey, and it's like $50 a bottle. And I'll tell you what, it trumped all the $200 and $300 bottles of whiskey I'd bought in the past. Redbreast, Irish whiskey, recommended by Trev. Yeah, Jack Daniels, yeah. Harsh. No wonder the Native Americans used to call it firewater because that's what Jack Daniels is. Yeah, honestly, try Redbreast. It's better than Jameson's Black Barrel, definitely. Um, yeah, it is value for money. One of the smoothest whiskies I've ever tasted in that price line. No, I know $50. Well, it's 50, about 50 quid over here. So, but and that price line, it is absolutely phenomenal. Um, it is a comparison to a £500 bottle of whiskey, Scotch whiskey, I reckon, for smoothness, flavour, and just downright drinkability. But I'm been drinking whiskey for a long time now. Yeah. Oh, Woodrich, yeah. Uh, yeah. I don't know where that's catching. I think it might have gone out. I don't see any flames. I don't see my fire's straight up there. I don't see any colour there. It just looks black up in that corner. Oh well. What is it there? Yeah, it's dropped down to 20.2. It was 23 when I sat down. I need to be getting a coat on in a moment. I just warm up with some more beer. Yeah, I've got quite a lot of wood on sat on the roof of the boat. Well, I did have. It's going down now. Every time you sort of sit around and you don't move the boat for 3 or 4 days, the pile of wood on the roof starts to diminish. You know what I mean? Um, I'm told by some locals, the same locals that told me about all the pubs, that there was 3 or 4 trees cut down just down the way here, just not very long ago. So there might be some wood down there. Jack bean in a nice to drink. Some people like Jack Daniels. I know. I can't stand it. I think it's horrible, rough. I think it's like firewater. Never liked it. But I don't put mixers in my whiskey, you see. That's the big difference. If you're going to put Coke in it, makes no bloody difference. Drink whatever. But in my whiskey, the only thing I ever put in my whiskey is a splash of spring water, just to bring the flavours through. So if you drink it with just a splash of spring water, it's totally different than drinking it with Coke, lemonade, or whatever, Pepsi. You know what I mean? Sprite or whatever people put in it. I don't put mixers in my whiskey, so I like good ones. And Jack is not a good one. There are some very good American whiskies, though. By the way, they're normally called bourbon. But you've got to remember, all bourbons are whiskey. Not all whiskies are bourbon. Yeah, Tennessee Fire. I tried that once. You're right about fire. That's the one. Isn't that the one with Tennessee Fire? Is oh gee whiz, cinnamon. I can't stand cinnamon, so that one's out of the question for me. Just before you start, I actually tried it once and I thought it was horrible. Uh, but I don't like cinnamon. Let's say you should drink whiskey with just a few drops of water, a few drops of spring water, not tap water, because tap water's got all sorts of crap in it. But yeah, Highland spring water. I used to always keep a couple of bottles of Highland spring water on, well, not on the boat because I don't drink it since I've been on the boat, particularly when I was living in a house. So I could put literally a splash of water in all my, especially the scotches. And I found just the same with the Irish whiskies, and I found just the same with bourbons as well. I like a few good bourbons. I really, in fact, you're on about Jack, Gentleman Jack. I quite like Gentleman Jack, but Jack Daniel's regular number 7, not my, just not for me. Gentleman Jack, I quite liked. I might just have expensive taste. Abomination putting stuff in. Yeah, the only thing as I totally with you there. Um, uh, Storm Welsh. Um, the only thing you can put in whiskey is water. All the Scots, but if you go up in Scot, I was up, I've been up there a few times, and the only thing they ever put in is literally a few drops of water. And we're not talking about 50-50, we're talking about 5% or less water to whiskey. And it just releases all the flavors. It literally helps. It just makes a total different drink, but it's literally just a touch. And it's a huge difference to your whiskey. Uh, but yeah, otherwise, neat. I was great. And the other thing you should never put in whiskey is ice, because whiskey needs some warmth to it for the aromas and the flavors that come out. Ice kills all that. So whiskey should never have ice put into it. Um, the only the only time you probably put ice in it, or should do, or shouldn't anyway, is when you put a ton of Coke in just to make the Coke not taste too disgusting. But there you go. Yeah, yeah. But I'm a beer drinker these days. That's all I really drink is beer these days, and I'm drinking. Oh. Well, once this bottle's gone, guys, I'm definitely going to end the live stream, and it's now, I don't know, been on here 2 hours, something or other, and 2 hours and 41, 2 hours. I can't even read. 2 hours, 3 minutes and 45 seconds. Yeah. Mm. By the way, Mark, if you're still around in the live, that is still oh the best plum porter, or probably one of the best porters I've ever drunk. I like the cherry as well, but that is definitely special. Blue. Oh, editing. Yeah. Oh, I've never had my editing sweet crash, but editing takes a long time, and I'm not an expert. I just do whatever. It's actually oh yeah, well, The label I think is black. It's purple down here, and the bottle is a very dark brown bottle. But yeah, I guess this is so in case you don't want to drink it all in one hit. Yeah, I don't use that bit. How can you not? When you open a bottle of beer, you have to drink it, don't you? It's like opening a bottle of wine; you have to drink it. You can't put any away for tomorrow, can you? Oh, it could be because yeah, it's a blue shirt. Cubs, look, oh, wrong size. Cubs. It's Cubs, isn't it? No, it might not be. That's not Cubs. It's I think this is a football shirt. I think that's Chicago for the Bears. Actually, that's the bear sign, isn't it? Yeah. See, I don't even know. See, American shirt. Bought in America, or wasn't even bought. It was a freebie. Slurpy Dave! Yay! Hey, we've just been talking about you earlier on. Where's Slurpy Dave? Mark was saying, "Where's Slurpy Dave tonight?" Here he is. Thanks, Dave. Ah, you made the night now, Dave. Coming in, you know what I mean. All the crew are in here. You know, we got Mark in here, and we've got Lee in here, and we've got well, I can't remember half the people's names now. You know, um, Dottie and friends from America. Joe was in earlier. My good friend Joe Massinio, who was my next door neighbour, basically. We've had all sorts of people in here tonight. It's been absolutely great. Uh, live chat's been quite lively, and I've been quite getting a little bit slurpy, Dave. Well, this is for Dave. We started off with this one. I'm trying to get. Oh, gee, was this lighting and all that? Started off with this one, Dave. This little weak one here at 14%. And then I went over to this one. Yeah. And this one's nearly gone. Chicago Cubs. Thank you, Dottie. I knew it was one of the. It is a Cubs shirt. Okay. I said Cubs to start off with. I live just outside Chicago. Well, American terms, just outside Chicago, 75 miles away. But yeah. Good beer, Dave. Courtesy of Mark, this one. And just in case I liked it, he got me 2 backups for this year. I think I had 4 of these, if I remember rightly, this year. Oh, some great beers. Do you know what was really, really hard sometimes, Dave? Is the other night I was sat in here and I didn't have any beer on the boat. I thought, I want a drink, and I didn't have any beer on the boat. Well, I did. I had all the special beers. I wouldn't open one because I only drink those now on the live streams. Oh, he does indeed. Ooh, seaweed. Does it contain seaweed? Well, I am Dave because I know you'd like to know where the canals are. I am currently at forgotten where I am again. Delph locks. I've just done Delph locks. Well, sort of. I've got one lock to go down. I'm at the bottom lock at Delph on the Delph locks, and I'm right next door. Just that's the wrong way. I point that way because although it's not that way, it's the other way. But when I'm pointing, it's the wrong way round on the screen. There's a pub here called the Bell. It's only been reopened for 9 months. Um, it was a pub years and years ago. Was closed for years, and I understand some builders got hold of it and redone it all up. And anyway, reopened. It's a proper pub. 6 hours on in there, so a proper pub. And the only food they do is rolls, so a proper pub. But there's loads of them around here. Loads and loads. I'm in the Black Country, of course. Yeah, loads of good pubs. Well, today's vid took me where we go today. Minworth Green. We left Minworth, and I was at Minworth Green rather than Minworth. I just said Minworth. To the top of Perry Bar Locks, I believe. Yeah, I need a wee soon, very soon. The Badger at Church Minstrel. Yeah, it's. Do you know what? The Badger's okay. Don't get me wrong; it's got some good beers in there, but it's a bit of a foodie pub. But the food, but there's still sort of a section of locals in there, so it's not too bad. But yeah, it's a horrible walk down from the moorings at the top of the hill. But I'm told if you're more at the next bridge and walk down, it's a lot better. But there's no moorings really. But there you go. King's Lock. When are you going to be there? April. You say April? Well, so it's not very good here. First week end in April. Well, King's Lock. You're not going to come up to Wheelock. I'm going to be probably at Wheelock in the first weekend of April. Four Priests, they do some great beers. The King's Lock have always got a Four Priest beers on. Yeah, it's definitely worth going there. I'm sorry, guys, but I've been drinking too much of this. I can't wait any longer. I'll be back in a second. Oh, sorry about that, guys. I had to do that. There's only so much beer my bladder can hold. and that was getting too much. Lots of talking going on here, and I'm missing everything. Picking boat up from Swanee Marina up on the Clongloughlin. I didn't know that type of leak. I did. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody did go. The count went down by about 5. You talked them all out. Right. Just catching up with the chat there. And I'm going to do a little bit more of this here beer. I said I'd carry on rabbiting until the beer ran out. I'm not going to get another bottle because it's already 10:30. Tomorrow, well, the wind, I don't have too much of a problem with wind. I can put up with the wind. I don't move in the rain. I hate the rain. I hate sleet. I hate snow. My next video's got all of that in it. But yeah, well, Dave, you know what it's like. Locks are dangerous enough, especially on your own as a single-handed boater. When they're wet and slippery around, it's just I just don't add that extra risk to it. I just don't move. Yeah, wet and windy here tomorrow, it says. So, and my fire's definitely gone out. There's absolutely still no glowing going on up there. I'll go up there and sort that out yet. It's definitely dropping the temperature in here quite quickly. Yeah, it was. I was on the Warsaw Canal, and there's 8 locks there, and I went through the first lock in sunshine. Just before I got to the second lock, it's right next door to an Asda. So I popped into the Asda for half an hour, did some shopping, topped up, the stores, topped up the supplies, brought them back to the boat, got to the second lock, which, it's clouded up a bit. I'm just coming up in the second lock, and it started spitting with rain. Not much, just a few spits. Oh, okay, nothing to worry about. So it didn't give rain, by the way, that day. It's supposed to be a dry day. I come out the second lock, and it's definitely raining. I get to the third lock, definitely raining. I get to the fourth lock, and it changes to sleet. I might be a lock out here or two, but some you get the gist. I go up another couple of locks, and it changes to snow, and then it changes back to sleet, and then changes back to rain. And there's 8 locks. And I come out the top lock, and it's just before you change over then to the Wednesbury Old Line or something or other it's called. And the sun come out. Yeah. Not for long though, it then clouded over again, but it stopped raining and the sun came out for about 10 minutes. Yeah, that's my luck. Somebody asked me, what do you know about German supermarkets? I said little. Little. Or the other one. What's the other one? Aldi. Don't get worked as well, does it? Anyway, Dave, we need a few jokes. I've got a glass of beer to finish off. I've been chatting away for 2 hours and 19 minutes somehow. I was in Tesco when some fellow threw milk, cheese, and butter over me. I thought, how dare he? How dairy. Hey, that's a good one. Yeah, I know what you mean, Dossie. I've been to Michigan a few times. I've actually been right up over the UP. I did the whole UP. I went up from, well, Coal City where I lived, all up through Green Bay and up over the top. What was the other place I went to, which I thought was rather nice actually? Sturgeon Bay, up through there, up over the top. I can't remember a few of the name of the towns, and across the bridge, which I can't pronounce the name of. Uh, Back down all the way through. But I've been to Michigan a few times before that. Tabor Hill Winery, the Round Barn Winery, and a few places like that I've been to in Michigan a few times. Yeah, I quite like Michigan. You might gather that from what I just said. Then he threw grated strong cheddar cheese over me. I thought, oh, very mature. I don't know where you get them all from, Dave. Christmas crackers. Um, yeah. Yeah, I've been to a couple of the breweries as well, Dottie, uh, in Michigan. I went to a lot of the wineries because my ex-wife, she was more of a wine drinker, so we went to a lot of the wineries back in the day. Uh, um, gee whiz, who makes makes Dragon's Milk? The New Holland Brewery. Went there years ago. That's north of Michigan, um, in Holland, I guess it is, up there in Michigan. It was, I'm sure. Dragon's Milk. That's a real. Used to be, well, it still is. Well, I assume they still make it. Excellent stout. Yeah. There's a few other breweries, and I can't remember what the other breweries were I went to in Michigan. As I say, the ex-wife, we used to go to the wineries a few times. But at Tabor Hill Winery has an absolutely, or did then, a fantastic restaurant in it. The food in there, the quality of the food was absolutely fantastic. And I'm not one for eating out, and that was a absolutely fantastic meal I had in Tabor Hill. I also spent a fortune in there and buying wine. There's a crazy thing. It was in Tabor Hill Winery. Yeah, you get the tasters and all that. I think I bought like four, maybe 6 cases of wine, whatever it was, with the discount, buying it by the case. And we went down the street, round the corner, in the local shop. It was about $1 a bottle cheaper. Yeah. Yes, Dragon's Milk. It's absolutely fantastic. Fancy that for them charge of the hops. Yeah, I think I put you on to Dragon's Milk, didn't I, Mark? When I lived in Coal City, um, can't think of the name of the bar there now. One of them had Dragon's Milk on in there, in this bar. They had Dragon's Milk on there, in there. And I went in there one day, I saw they had Dragon's Milk on, and I said, "Oh, I'll get a Dragon's Milk, please." He said, "Oh, what size glass would you like it in?" I said, "Well, the biggest." He said, "Oh, 23 ounce." I said, "Yeah, that'll do." It was $4 for 23 ounces of Dragon's Milk. I couldn't believe it. It should be half the places that sell Dragon's Milk will only sell it in 6 ounce glasses anyway because it's so strong. And they did a 23 ounce glass for $4. I couldn't believe it. So I had a few of those and walked home because my car was outside and I wanted to get back in the car. Although I probably could have done. That's a good whiskey diet. I'm on a beer diet. It doesn't work very well, does it? I should change the picture to long and thin, you know what I mean? Well, guys, I'm definitely going to have to go and sort my fire out. Ooh, what you just put in there, Mark? You did Goose Island as well, yeah. I'm on to a 2022 Goose Island Backyard Stout. Never heard of it. Let's start with a bit of proper cooking. Don't know it, never tried it. So, what's your input on Goose Island Backyard Stout? Is it any good? Probably is, because Goose Island do make some quite good beers. They do make a couple of real. Some of their early ones were pretty awful. Still sell a lot, I believe. Honkazel. I think that's bloody awful, but there you go. My opinion. Titanic, you need to learn how to make horrible beer. Because you make such good beer, I just get wasted on it every time I drink it. And as for these people, well, yeah, this is crazy stuff. You're wobbling, I'm wobbling. Well, that's good news. Yeah. I know a lot of people used to like the Goose Island Honkazel. I thought it was a bit, I don't know, didn't have very much in it for me. It didn't have a lot of flavour, didn't have a lot of anything going for it, as it's what has been sown. I've been having Viagra and prune stout for breakfast. I don't know if I'm coming or going. Oh, I'm having plum porter Grand Reserve for dinner tonight. Oh, dinner. Yeah, what was for dinner? Because I haven't had any dinner tonight. You know that. You know what? That's probably what I haven't eaten since I had breakfast. I had two slices of toast for breakfast. What did I have for lunch? I can't even think what I had for lunch. Oh, I do. I had a couple of cold sausages in the fridge cooked. I had a sausage sandwich for lunch with HB sauce. And quickly there in the chat, what does the HP stand for on HP sauce? If you know that one, a lot of people don't, but see if you know what HP stands for on HP sauce. And I cooked beef spare ribs in red wine with shallots and all sorts of things added to it. Been on the stove all day, but the stove got a bit cold earlier on and it wasn't cooked. I'd only been on there for about 6 hours and it wasn't cooked. So I put it back on, and guess what? It's probably still not cooked. So I've got to finish it off tomorrow. That's my dinner for tomorrow. I tell you what, if you bump into me, Storm watch me bump into me, literally, I'm pretty sure it'll be a glancing blow, and we'll just go, take care. Yes, spot on, Houses of Parliament. Spot on. Most people don't know that's what HP stands for, an HP source. Yeah, yeah. Well, obviously, I thought it was something most people didn't know. Ads inserted. Oh, okay. I can't stop the ads from coming up. Anyway, guys, it's been absolutely fantastic with all you guys in the live stream tonight. It's over 2.5 hours now we've been going, especially after the start of the night when it wouldn't load. I couldn't believe that. I don't know what was wrong. Really don't know what was wrong, but absolutely fantastic. Happy people. Hey, Dolly, you're probably right, especially when they live on boats. Your daughter orders that for us. Oh, wow. You can get it in a few places in the US. Oh, gee whiz, what's that name of that store? We used to get it in HP Source. I can't think what it was called now. Yeah, but well, actually, funny enough, I think I might have even got it once in Walmart. Um, they used to do occasionally some English stuff in there. But what's the store that used to have a big line of English stuff? Gruger's, was it? Something like that. Thank you very much, Mark, for thanking everybody as well. Another 5 years away. I hope I'm still alive in 5 years' time. You know what I mean? Pensioner now, and all that stuff. You know what I mean? But yeah, anyway, this has been absolutely fantastic. I still haven't finished my beer quite, so put on me until I finish my beer. It's been a pleasure having Kruger. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I think you're right, Dottie. They used to do a big range of English stuff. Whew. I am 3 sheets. No, only 2. You go do your cooking, Stormwatch. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I might be wrong, Dottie, but I'm just trying to remember. Although I'm thinking it might have been another store now that I've seen it in. Can't think what it was. It was a store that. If I come up with it, if I remember the name of the store, I'll message you, Dottie. I'll let you know. Night, Martin. Good night, everybody. Night, John Boy. Night, Sue Ellen. And I can't remember the rest of the Whartons. Good night, Trevor. Oh, that's me. And the fire's definitely been gone. Good night, because it's now down to 18.8 in here. Yeah, it's getting cold. I've got to go and sort my fire out. 2 14ers. Yeah, I've got 2 left. I don't think I'm going to do them both on one night. I think it'd spoil a night, wouldn't it? I think they've got to be spread out. It's been fantastic, Dottie. All of you that have been in the live chat tonight, I really, really appreciate it. Yeah, 5 years on a boat. I hope to do another 15 years. That'll take me to 80. Yeah. And then just go. Didn't do that really. Night all, and I got to exit this stream. Oh, I've got to finish it off properly, haven't I? Thank you very much for watching. Trevor out. There's my cursor. Exit stream. End. Yes.